Werewolf, the Apocalypse Earthblood, is a hack-and-slash game developed by Cyanide and published by Nacon. It retails for $40 and is available on all platforms except the Nintendo Switch. In Werewolf, you play as Cahal, a werewolf who was blinded by his rage at the death of his wife and ended up accidentally killing one of his kin and blinding another. After 5 years of self-imposed exile, he is forced to return to his clan, as they are threatened and attacked by an evil corporation bent on destroying the planet. This game has two major gameplay segments, the hack-and-slash parts and the largely optional stealth parts. The hack-and-slash parts are very standard and can get repetitive, but are pretty fun in short bursts. You have access to both a heavy stance and an agile stance, each with different abilities you can unlock using a skill tree. Abilities cost rage, which you build up from hitting and killing enemies. There is also Frenzy Mode, which is the typical overpowered button mash transformation in these types of games. Like I said, the hack and slash parts are satisfying and fun in short bursts, but get dull if you play for too long. I think a combo system, more enemies, and a larger skill tree would take these sections from meh to good. The stealth sections are a mess. They are paradoxically too hard and too easy at the same time. The enemies are almost entirely deaf and blind to you, especially if you have the stealth upgrade. Half the time you can very easily sneak past enemies, even running in front of them, and they won't notice you. The other half of the time, the enemies are positioned in a way that makes them impossible to sneak past. While sneaking, you have access to a crossbow, which is pretty worthless. You only have 3 bolts, 5 after getting a skill tree upgrade, and to use it you have to fully stand up out of cover, guaranteeing that they'll see you. You also have the ability to sabotage reinforcement doors to reduce the health of enemies that come out of them, as well as open doors, disable cameras, and turrets from computers that you find past enemy lines. Overall, the stealth is kind of bad. They probably should have cut it to focus on the hack and slash gameplay. The story of this game is very generic, but it does include some interesting world building. My favorite parts of the story are the werewolf lore, and later in the story where you see a different werewolf tribe with a very different culture. There are dialogue options in the story, with both allies and enemies, which are nice, and flesh out the main character and side characters a little, but still not really. Some of these options must be unlocked by finding certain items or completing certain side quests. There aren't a lot of side quests though. There's like 3 probably in the whole game. There are also 2 endings, but I've only seen one because I would have to replay the last level to see the other, and I really don't care enough to do that. Like nearly every aspect of this game, the story could go from meh to good with just some rewrites to the script. The entire game is very Xbox 360. From the short-haired white guy protagonist with a dead wife, to the clunky average gameplay and the ugly cutscenes and stiff character models. Let's talk about the graphics. You can excuse most of the graphics because of the budget of this game. I think for the most part, the environment and enemy models are passable for a low budget game like this, but the NPCs are incredibly stiff and are lifeless. But again, you can't hit on it too much because of the budget of this game, and it would be a lot easier to overlook if the gameplay and story was better, like you wouldn't even care about it. The music in this game is pretty good. There are some songs near the end that I really like, and the rock music that plays during combat is cool. I just wish there were more tracks because the songs can get repetitive. Overall, this game is painfully average. There are a lot more details I could go into with the gameplay and the story and like certain elements, but they really don't matter. All you have to know about this game is it's painfully average. Watch some trailers. If you like hack and slash games and you ran out of better ones to play, you might like this game. And if you like Werewolf, you also might like this game, because I don't think there's any other video games with werewolves. Otherwise, I would not recommend this game unless you fall into one of those 2 categories. So that's my review of Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. Have you played the game? What do you think about it? Leave a comment below and subscribe and do all that shit. Bye bye.